Today's guest is Sherri Schwartz. She's the head of marketing at OvationCXM. Sherri brings more than 17 years of experience in B2B SaaS with a background spanning across marketing, revenue, and sales. She's helped scale teams from the ground up, sharpening positioning and driving growth. So I'm super excited to dig into marketing strategy and how software companies can create stronger video content and a strong brand. Sherri, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Nice. We're so glad to have you. I've been waiting a long time for me to actually start talking with people like you. And so I'm glad to have you here.
It's been what, 3, 4, maybe all going on 4 years of a relationship
Yeah.
with SparkPortal. Now I'm happy to be on and chat.
For people in our audience that don't know much about you, tell us a little bit about your journey.
I was a broadcast journalism major in college, knew I was going to be the next Katie Couric and be a news anchor. I graduated in 2008 when the financial crisis hit, and it was really hard to graduate college and try to find a job. So I actually face planted into sales by accident. Started my career in sales, selling to the military, selling everything from boots to body armor to underwater robots and mine detectors. Super cool. Was one of the top producing sales reps selling to the Navy for 4 years, but my husband was relocating and remote wasn't a thing. So I said, you know what, let's just go into marketing. And that's when I started my journey in marketing, working for a capital markets firm. But I left actual financial service organization and then went into financial technology. And so I've been in technology now since 2015. So I have now had the opportunity to be the head of marketing at OvationCXM now for, oh my goodness, almost 4 years. It seems I blinked and we hit 4. When I came on, the company was named Boomtown. And it was, hey, by the way, in 3 months, we would like to try to rebrand this organization because we were primarily a services organization and built our own SaaS technology and wanted to pivot to SaaS. And I was the first hire to really grow a marketing team. So within 3 months, we rebranded the entire organization all the way from its brand, like the name to the color choicing to our value proposition, and launched a new website. The first 6 months, the team helped bring in $1 million of new revenue for the business that obviously with a non-existent marketing team really in the past, that was major success, I would say. And I don't know if I slept. I think I did. It's a blur. But what a journey it's really been.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. As you were talking about that, I remember when we first met, when a new marketer kind of hires us and they're doing the rebrand, they usually wait until the rebrand is done to then start creating content, right? But I remember with you, I said, listen, we can create some stuff. It doesn't matter. Don't worry so much about the branding itself. We can still create stuff so that you can actually take advantage of that transition.
I was coming in already a champion of what video could do for a business. Firsthand, I watched our engagement soar on social media from the usage of video on our LinkedIn strategy, or the usage of video to tell the story about why we existed and how the sales team loved being able to share assets like that, or to be able to utilize the video in our ad strategy. People like consuming video. It's easier for me to watch it or listen to it sometimes than pivoting and reading something long. It's not that I won't get to the long thing, but I have to go find a little bit more time for that attention. It's easier for me to consume video. So we knew we needed to gather excitement. The best way I feel to gather excitement for a product launch, for a company launch, is to create hype videos. I knew that I couldn't do it with one videographer, but I knew that once I found you guys, I could produce as many videos as I wanted or could handle giving to you for the cost of one videographer. Right? So it didn't not make sense for me to be able to partner with an agency because I had a long list of ideas. And honestly, I think our first 2 years together, we've produced over 200 videos a year, each year. And that's long form, short form. That's taking a interview and slicing it into 20 bits. It goes on for the varieties of different types of content. And it's been instrumental. Video has absolutely been instrumental in getting our brand awareness out there it was one of the best decisions I think we've made as a business.
Since we're already talking about video, let's go into video for partnerships. You guys have also leveraged video specifically to acquire partnerships. When did you started to notice like, hey, this could be an opportunity for us?
We have some amazing partnerships. So from the financial services, large integration side, we have a major partnership with IBM. And then from our payments side of the house, we have a great partnership right now with a company called ScanSource and another one with Red Iron. In both of those instances, our marketing team took liberties of trying to draft up the art of the possible of what these partnerships would look like. And while we built some slideware to really launch what we thought the partnership could be, we also accompanied in both of those instances video. And so we used video to create a partnership hype. These partners from IBM and ScanSource, that they saw these videos, it got them excited. It got them sharing it. So what happened to be a very early stage partnership with tiptoed excitement became great excitement, which then energized the partners to want to do more, hop on more calls, figure out how we can even create another video. The fun thing is that once they saw the first video, even in IBM's instance, it was, okay, but can we create this video and can create another video? They love the video so much that as they did work in One Madison at their New York office, they wanted to be able to showcase that video at one of their mezzanine levels where some of their financial service banks come in and have meetings so that while they're waiting for their meeting, they can interact with partners of IBM's. And our video is now showcasing in the mezzanine level at One Madison. And it wouldn't have been possible if we hadn't taken liberties to utilize video as a great way. And look, many organizations can say, okay, yeah, but our partnerships at its infancy stage, it takes a while to figure out what the message is, a few weeks for production. Is that worth it? Is it time spent? It is amazing time spent. It might not give you fast ROI, but it's amazing time spent on a relationship builder for a partnership.
We have another client that they are very close to Palantir. And for them, it makes sense to spend as much time as possible building and showing them that they're worth Palantir's time. We're not saying that you should approach every partnership with massive amount of effort and resources. But for the ones that matter, like video could be a great vehicle. Why? Because you stand out immediately. Like it's a beautiful experience for them. You're giving them something of value that is way more valuable compared to the rest. They probably have 15 other partnerships or whatever, but you're the only one that came in and put them in this pedestal with them. Like, wow, we can rally behind this thing.
To your point, there's a variety of different types of partnerships. So there could be a partnership where that partner is potentially going to resell or bring you in on joint deals, right? But you have to still incentivize their sales team to garner interest, because what if that partner is also reselling or co-selling with a variety of other companies? Okay, so I am also competing for attention. A partnership hype video is an excellent way to garner the attention of that AE so that they want to consider bringing you in on co-deals where, you know, they have a variety of things to sell, but hey, they will really remember you. You're leaving that lasting impression. But then if there are partners on the other side where this is an actual product integration partnership where their company does one piece of it, you do another piece of it, bringing that together to tell the whole story of how that would work and the benefit, that makes it easier for you to sell. It makes it easier for them to sell. It makes it also easier for that joint customer to also understand. I'd also challenge businesses to consider utilizing it in their customer strategy. We had a customer sign on really quickly with us. They were a customer of ours previously. They moved roles, joined a different bank. Within 6 months, we had a deal signed. It was probably one of our quickest deals because they were already a champion, but they were getting ready to have business kickoff meetings. And so we strategically worked with them. We took one of our hype videos and we made it a little bit more bank specific with their logo on it, with some of their partners on it, did small changes, and then they leveraged that to gather more excitement and enthusiasm at their bank about what that bank just launched. If you're not in a video first strategy, you're really just kind of in a video here, a video there, a video on social media, you're missing out on other ways to utilize it for your business's benefit.
I wanted to jump in and say yes all the time, but for us specifically, it's often a little bit of a fork in the road in terms of our sales process. We have to let them know, our clients and prospects, we're going to do this video stuff for you, but it matters and it's important that you believe in video. Because if you don't, you're going to go to the comfort zone and you're going to check the box, but it's not really going to drive, like you said, rally people behind excitement, right? And whether it is customers, partners, prospects, whatever audience, even your own people, internal people. And so it's not having that effect unless you make it part of how you function as a marketing team.
And I think that once you take that first step, don't just stop there. For instance, I just recently had a conversation with you about, hey, I love some of these B2C videos. And I think sometimes when you're selling B2B technology, it can be boring, right? It's some screens, it's some clickables. I don't want to take ourselves too seriously. Let's look at examples of some really great B2C videos and let's look at how we can make ours even more fun. Here's a challenge that's going on in banks today, and here's a really fun, easy way to show how we're going to solve for it in a much more entertaining way. Now, I'll be the first to say, is that going to resonate? I don't know. I'd like to think that I've taken lots of liberties and they've paid off a little bit, but I'm also not scared to try it.
Okay, so let's move on to AI and marketing. What would you say is the thing to keep in mind in terms of hype versus reality?
So first things first, I would never sign a 1-year contract. You need to test and you need to see what's out there and you need to see what's good enough. There is going to be no future not with AI. So we need to adapt and we need to figure out how to best work with it, how it best works with us. I do believe the best thing for AI to do today in any organization is the compression of process and workflow, but it has not perfected every facet of marketing yet. For instance, have we considered utilizing AI video? Sure. But what I've actually seen is a lot of the AI video technology today is ones where you can then create, you have your own background, you're doing your own demo, but you have an AI avatar. I spent all day arguing with a video AI tool. I gave it the very specific 5 words to use. It was written in English. And what I got back was gibberish. You're always asked, is there a way to replace a video agency with a tool? The answer I would find in some of the creativity aspect is we're not there yet.
You touched on different points, specifically about AI and video. Video is not a one-step thing. It's multiple roles that are involved to do video well. And so that creates an additional layer of problem for the AI to really do well in.
Yes.
And I think eventually it will get it to that point. But by the time it does, the bar is going to be higher.
Yeah. And look, we are a AI forward organization. We orchestrate operational efficiencies for customer experience and financial services. Those gaps, those silos, those poor handoffs, the utilization of email for task management, the utilization of spreadsheet for your handoffs and tasks. We're simplifying all of that. But we also utilize AI for chat, for customer and case and information summarizations. We're looking at where can we take the chaos of what's going on in your organization and provide simplicity, provide more efficiencies that are revenue critical. But it's never to create me as like some automated thing that still loses myself in the process. We're intentionally building our AI capabilities to be value adds to work alongside you to compress the process and solve some of those horrible handoffs that create those silos and those frustrations. When I look at how I utilize it on our marketing team, we're a small 4-person team. Where are our gaps? Where are our handoff gaps? What processes are taking longer? Where are we best? Where are we weakest? And let's utilize it for our weaker points so that we can maintain a really strong and efficient team.
I think to go along with that, in smaller marketing teams, AI it becomes a very big help because you're constrained with time, and AI is good at helping you hand off stuff when you're like, hey, I don't have the time to contextualize this
Yes.
before I hand it off.
And it's been instrumental for us. We have a smaller budget as a team. I can't compete against large enterprises and their multi-million dollar ad budgets or SEO budgets. But we took big bets 2 years ago on middle and bottom of funnel content, really understanding and concentrating on how our buyers think about their challenges, what they're searching for, very persona driven. And we wrote content for that. And that's the way that people search on AI LLMs. They do not search on AI LLMs the same way they do Google. Google is way more higher level. These LLMs already know that person's persona because they talk to it all the time and ask it questions, and they just get right to the point. I have a churn problem in my business. I'm looking for a merchant service solution. What's out there? And we're actually ranking higher than some of these large enterprise businesses on AI LLMs and driving more traffic month over month and year over year from these AI LLMs. And our brand shows up stronger there than when we have a large ad budget or SEO budget. And it's because we've purpose built our content to really work for and work with these AI LLMs because that is how people are searching now. A year ago, 0 people started their search on ChatGPT. Now, up to 50% of buyers start their search there. That doesn't mean they don't go to Google. And it doesn't mean they start in Google and then don't pivot and go to the LLM. And these LLMs can surface the data and even rank and then even provide like spreadsheet of pros, cons of your business and other businesses. It's incredible.
Yeah, and they didn't even visit your website. They don't even know who you are.
No, it's incredible.
And it's interesting because we heard the same thing starting last year, middle of last year. We were doing like video libraries of like video resources, things like that for different clients. And we're like, yeah, we like the people that come in, they touch our video resources, they convert like at a way better rate. And then also those deals, they're way faster. The interesting part about this is that people that were not in their ICP list, right, in the personas list, were actually consuming the video. And they were also affecting deals. And that behavior of allowing now, because of AI, people that are not in your radar are actually being part of the buying committee. Also, people are coming in a little sooner than you were expecting. And they're building all this, they're building their perception of you. So by the time they even go to your website now, they already have a good idea of what they're looking for.
So then that informs your web straight strategy too, right? So you can't just be all high level. They already know about you because they've consumed information that ChatGPT gave, and they can give some pretty detailed info. So now they're coming to validate it. Do you have great thought leadership video? Do you have detailed FAQs? Do you have customer testimonials? They've consumed enough to say, hey, you might be it. Now I'm more middle of funnel in my self-guided discovery. I know about you and I have a problem. You might be it, but I'm still trying to figure it out. And so that informs what you do need to write about. That informs what you do need to visually show. That informs the different other types of content that they need to be able to see. Clickable demos, for example, give them the experience to want to validate so that by the time they do click in and say, hey, I want to go talk to somebody, they are more likely to respond to your email as well when you reach back out and say, hey, thanks for reaching out. Let's schedule that demo.
Yeah, and it creates a better experience for both sides, for your salespeople too, because now they come more informed about what they want, what they don't want.
That's right.
This makes me think about the amount of work that we've done. You and I talked about covering a framework. I want to pivot to that now. Can you walk us through how you see video working in your strategy?
I look at it as very much how you would plan your quarterly goals, right, for your business. It goes exactly as to how you should think about planning for your video strategy. So is if I'm looking at written content, for instance, what are the pillars and what are the topics that I need to cover for that month? I would also argue that if you already have time with your content manager and you're discussing what your content is coming up, if video isn't already part of that, that's where you've already messed up. Video is a content channel for anything that you write. Why wouldn't you create a video version of it as well? I think that you need to create pillars too for each quarter. What is your company's objectives? What's going on in sales? What deals are almost across the finish line? What deals are early stage? So you can also understand what are your objections? Because by the way, why aren't you creating video based off of objections? And then what are your content themes and what's going on with product? So if product's doing a big release and you want to create amp up from that, why not create a product interview with your head of product on what's coming on with the releases? Why not create a hype video? Or even a promo of something's brewing, ... so that you can put a time clock down to when your product releases. There's a variety of different ways to think about it. It's got to be part of your content and your revenue strategy every single quarter. And you slice and dice it based off of company objective, sales objections or sales deal velocity, and then thought leadership. If you're creating anything, think about where video plays in that. And then I would argue too, the best way sometimes to also do it is just do a 30-minute interview with your subject matter expert. That recording can come into 10 snippets. Excellent. But maybe he had a really great idea in that discussion that leads to a short form blog that then can compartmentalize and create a short form video. You don't know unless you actually just go ahead and get somebody in the room and hit record. And it can be a simple Google Meet and you hit the record and you're just listening in and you have the transcript, and then that launches into everything else that you can do video wise for it. But I would always compartmentalize those into thought leadership buckets, to sales and sales enablement velocity buckets, and then overarching company goals.
You said compartmentalize, but I look at them as levels of
Yeah.
priorities. The top priority is obviously more vague and more only about the business, basically. And then as you go down, it gets more tactical,
That's
right? More about what's going on today. Where would you say, if you already came in and you've always been an advocate for video, but where do you think a new person that has new budget now, has a new role, first 90 days, first 6 months, they want to do a rebrand, or they may not want to do a rebrand, but they want to start using video. And so they've gotten a new opportunity that they didn't probably have before. Where would you start?
If you haven't used video before, and maybe say you're going through a rebrand, you need to start at the 50,000 foot view. Introduce your company. So have a company intro video. Introduce your product as a hype. Gather excitement. I would start at that introductory view of brand awareness. Who are we? What are we here for? And why does it matter? From there, you can go levels deeper into product specific videos or interviews with subject matter experts to go levels deeper. Then you can go and you can also learn at that point, what are your common objections? What are the common questions that continually go up? And then your levels deeper into creating video to be able to answer those. But you have to generate excitement to gather that interest. So I would always start at those overview and hype videos because they're 60 seconds or less.
Yeah.
And they're easy to be able to entertain as well.
Yeah. So that's a great point. Right now, we went from doing explainer videos to now we're doing more like hype videos. Why? Because it tends to rally people and get more excitement. So more like, instead of doing a regular explainer video, try to see if you can do it in a format that is more energetic. And that usually often means maybe not voiceover, maybe a little bit of a higher beat music with text on screen. And usually that performs, I would say, entertains people better.
Think about this. Is it in your event strategy? 6 months after our rebrand, we were doing a big sponsorship with FinTech Meetup. And it was the first time our business was going to be OvationCXM on a grander stage. We actually took, instead of a small booth, we actually took one of the private meeting rooms and built it like a large booth. So you walked in, you had tables, you had the old traditional conference room walls. No, we had these pre-branded walls in there. We had a private meeting room, glassed in a corner, but then we also had a big television. And on that television, we had our hype video, 2 hype videos, our overview, and then our new product release on journey orchestration video on loop. These videos are what I think 30 to 45 seconds, super short, very energetic music, no voiceover. It's words on screen to capture attention with pop outs of the product. Because think about it, like if you're at a booth, people are walking by all the time. They're not going to be able to gather a large 1.5 to 2 minute product explainer, but you will capture their attention with a lot of booms and bangs and large words and your product flying out that they may have the 30 seconds to stop, which allows you as a sales organization to step forward, introduce yourself, and be able to bring them aside if they want a smaller pop up your laptop quick demo, right? But those are other really creative ways to utilize it because you already have an event strategy. You already have an event budget, but throw that TV on the wall and let that quick ad that's very engaging capture the attention for you, not just a bunch of sales reps that are like, please stop by, please stop by.
That's great. I'm so glad you brought events because that's really like a big aspect of video as well. It's a good way to repurpose a lot of this content. You're already putting effort in. Every idea that you gave from the how you think through video in this last section that we talked about, I was like, dude, we could do a freaking webinar on each one of those because you and I have done this before. We've done the webinar repurposing. We've done the interviews. We've done the explainer, the hype videos for promotion, for event, the product announcements. So like, I wish we can do that. Probably we'll do that in the future, but I've enjoyed this a lot. Thank you so much for coming. Do you have any parting thoughts? Anything that you want to maybe lead people to go and take action on or learn more about you or anything like that?
Yeah, look, I love to network. I love to talk through marketing ideas. If anyone in the audience wants to further go levels deeper on the framework or where to get started, or even throw spaghetti on the wall and see if it sticks. Hey, what do you think about this? I'm reachable via LinkedIn, would love to strategize and help in any way because I do believe very much in it. And I think it can be very successful for any business, but sometimes it can be daunting on where to start and how do I create the right video? Because you may be the one championing it for your organization and trying to get buy-in and make sure your executive team knows it's a great spend, even if it's sometimes maybe not quickest ROI. So I would love to be able to talk at length at that because I think I can speak for our executive team on this when they love the video and it's been a game changer. It's an environment enthusiast, I think, for our organization. So would love to do that. I have to do a shameless plug. So if anyone is in the business of wanting to learn more about how to orchestrate the best operational experiences for your business, would love to be able to talk about how journey orchestration and connecting your ecosystem of partners to the journey and the utilization of AI can really solve for those operational chaoses for your business. Would love to chat about that and about how OvationCXM can help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.